Thanks a lot, sir. We shall now start the first session of the workshop. I hereby request all the participants that their questions are most welcome. You need to send the queries in the chat box so that they can be discussed during the question and answer session. May I now request Professor Laturkar Madam to share her screen.
Sure.
I feel privileged to introduce the honored resource person for our workshop, Professor Mrs. Vani Nikhil Laturkar, Associate Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies, SRTM University, Nanded. She has a bright academic record, decorated with the prestigious Fulbright Nehru Fellowship of 2019 and the Best Teacher Award. She has an equally strong research experience with 51 publications, 2 books, 14 book chapters, and 4 projects to her credit. 18 PhD students and 8 MPhil students have been benefited by her valuable guidance. She has been instrumental in coordination of RUSA as subject expert for UGC NET as UGC nominated expert for advisory board on college with potential for excellence. I now request Professor Vani Laturkar to deliver her talk on preparation of NAC. Professor Vani Laturkar.
Thank you, Aparna Madam. Thank you so much. Respected Honorable Vice Chancellor P.P. Patil Sir, Pro Vice Chancellor Mamulika Sir, Registrar Pawar Sir, Joint Director of the Region Satish Deshpande Ji, Chandrakant Rawal Sir, Pabrekar Sir Vijay Joshi Ji, the Principal of the College Patil Sir, and all my dear participants. The knowledge of NAC is not new to anybody. Something which has been talked about a lot because the rules have changed. So my focus will be with the notion that majority of you know about NAC, but we have a phobia in our mind that NAC is something which makes the process very difficult to cope with. The basic notion again will be to put the thing in the easiest ways. It's a process which is systematically being defined. I'll be putting the technicalities in as crisp way as I could, and will be welcoming the questions at the end. As the responsibility is being given by RUSA, I'll be starting with the NAC accreditation and assessment process, the technicalities and the criteria being highlighted in very short, keeping the affiliated colleges in mind. I'll be sharing my screen now. I think the screen is clearly visible. Okay. So when we are talking about this accreditation process, the first thing that comes into mind is why to do NAC? NAC करायचं कशासाठी? The thing is, whenever we are doing anything, whenever we are establishing the higher education institution, the basic reason is for imparting the quality education in this country. And whether the quality education has been imparted in the required parameters, in the required ways, to the required people, in the required places, is being done or not. This is being evaluated, assessed, and graded by the apex body called National Assessments and Accreditation Council of India. This is a body which is being established under UGC and which does this process with monopoly. The thing is, when we are doing this particular thing, it puts a label on that higher education institution that yes, this institution is meeting the minimum parameters of the standard of quality of education or even exceeding it. And people will feel, yes, this is like a stamp mark, a brand mark, that yes, the institution is worth dealing with. So for this, it starts with the evaluation or the self-assessment that the institution makes in the form of SSR. It starts with some initiatives being taken, which are in additional to the things which are being done, and the promotion of those activities being done to make the quality initiatives a part of the system. This is in very short the mission. की कशासाठी हा NAC? 1. Periodic assessment. जेव्हा आपण दर 5 वर्षाला हे असेसमेंट करतो, नॅचरली वी कीप अवरसेल्स अपडेटेड. एक अकॅडमिक एन्व्हायरमेंट क्रिएट होतो. अकाउंटेबिलिटी Naturally, we have to be accountable. We teachers are being provided with so much of facilities, and we can have so many things being done. Sky is the limit. Quality research facilities, consultancy या सगळ्याच गोष्टी आणि कोलॅबरेशन विथ अदर स्टेक होल्डर्स. आता जुने आणि नवीन मध्ये फरक काय? What is the basic change? Previously also the NAC had 7 criteria, the similar parameters, but now the way of asking them, the way of evaluating them, the way of validating them have changed. It has become extremely objective. Quantitative parameters add केले गेलेत, मॅट्रिक्स वापरले गेलेत आणि या पद्धतीने डेटा व्हेरिफिकेशन अँड व्हॅलिडेशनची पद्धत सुद्धा बदलली गेली. Now we are required to furnish all the data proofs and evidences, and it is totally an ICT based functioning. सिस्टम जनरेटेड स्कोर नावाचा जो प्रकार तो बेसिकली आधी पण वी हॅड दी वेटेड एव्हरेज स्कोर, पण आता हे सिस्टम जनरेटेड इट इज कम्प्युटर बेस्ड, प्रोग्रामिंग बेस्ड. त्याच्यामुळे जे काही होणार ते अनबायस्ड अनडिस्क्रिमिनेटिव्ह अप्रोच मध्ये होणार. नेहमी प्रश्न, नॅक नाही केलं तर काय होतंय? नॅक नाही केलं तर होत काही नाही, पण काही गोष्टी ज्या आपल्याला मिळायला पाहिजे, वी आर एलिजिबल फॉर, वी आर डिझर्विंग, वी ड्रीम फॉर, त्या गोष्टी आपल्याला करता येत नाही. अशा कोणत्या? नंबर 1, नाव इट हॅज बिकम दी नेसेसिटी फॉर सर्व्हायवल. आपल्याला ते करणं भाग आहे. का? फायनान्शियल असिस्टन्स टू दी स्टुडंट्स, टू दी फॅकल्टी, टू दी ऑर्गनायझेशन. आताच प्रिन्सिपल सरांनी सांगितलं की त्यांच्या कॉलेजला 2 करोड रुपये सँक्शन झाले आणि त्या 2 करोड रुपये जेव्हा रुसाने सँक्शन केले त्यांच्यासाठी, त्यावेळेला ते बेसिक एलिजिबिलिटी विच वॉज बी रिक्वायर्ड इज वेदर दे आर नॅक अक्रेडिटेड ऑर नॉट, व्हॉट इज देअर ग्रेड. आणि या पद्धतीने विद्यार्थ्यांना सुद्धा आजकाल स्कॉलरशिप आणि फ्रीशिप जर मिळून द्यायची असेल तर अशा वेळेला नॅक अक्रेडिटेशन हॅज बिकम मॅन्डेटरी. प्रत्येकाला वाटतं आय शुड बी नॉमिनेटेड ऑन सिनेट, अकॅडमिक काउन्सिल, बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडीज, मॅनेजमेंट काउन्सिल, अँड द प्री criteria is your organization from which you belong to, your employee of, should be a NAC accredited body. Campus placements, yes, employees बघतात की तुम्ही जर NAC accredited असाल तर they feel comfortable by dealing with you. If you want to apply for new programs, new courses, new divisions, नवीन तुकडी हवी आहे, नवीन प्रोग्राम सुरू करायचे आहेत, NAC accreditation is a must. And lastly, going with basically the autonomous status, आपल्याला जर autonomy हवी असेल, NAC accreditation is a straight way to go into. Everything has become objective now. The questions are more objective, multiple choice questions, formula based, scale based. Previously, we had everything all offline. The SSR also was being submitted in hard copy. The PA team visit used to come and visit us and see everything. Now it has changed to the online mode. Previously, 100% it was qualitative. Now, there is a big shift. The quantitative parameters have also been added. Student-centric approach is the crux of this new approach now. So with this, we will find that these are the benefits of accreditation which we get. सगळ्यात पहिल्यांदा, we come to know as an individual and as well as an organization that where we are lacking, where we are strong. We come to know what are our areas of planning, what are the areas in which our resources should be more channelized into. Collegiality on the camp. NAC प्रोसेस मध्ये असं कधीही होत नाही की एकच सिंगल माणूस काम करतोय आणि NAC accreditation ची प्रोसेस संपली. It requires a teamwork. Everybody contributes. Teaching, non-teaching, students, stakeholders. As I said, funding agencies always look for your NAC accreditation status and a valid certificate of accreditation process you have done. It gives you more reliable information being put on your website, and the best part of it is we learn how to have interactions within the departments and within other organizations. These are all the benefits, as we have already discussed. One thing is we are recognized. We get an exposure to the industry, and our feedback mechanism connects us, all the shareholders. When we are doing the NAC process, एक जे फोबिया मी हा शब्द वापरला की आपल्याला एक फोबिया असतो की बापरे NAC म्हणजे कुठले कुठले शब्द वापरले जातात. These are the list of few words which are new or which are, I should say, typical to the NAC process. लोक म्हणतात की ICT based काय? Simple, computer based. You find that because it has made ICT based, the questions have reduced, the number of visit days of the PA team have reduced. Benchmarking हा शब्द वापरला जातो, pre-qualifier हा शब्द वापरला जातो. All these things are being given in the form of the glossary, even in the manuals, and they are very literate terms. If we go through them once, they become the part and parcel of our vocabulary. ट्रिपल एस आपण अनुषंगाने हळूहळू पाहूया की या सगळ्या गोष्टींचा अर्थ काय. These are all about grading. Previously we only had A, B, C, D. Now they have been again subdivided and त्याच्यामध्ये subcategorization केलेले आहे. As usual, we also have a peer team report which were there in earlier process also, and we also have a provision for appeal. आपल्याला जर असं वाटलं की आपण अपील करायला पाहिजे त्या व्हॅलिडेशन प्रोसेसला, yes, we can. This is only a snapshot of how the things have changed. We have already discussed it. The only thing which is new in this particular slide is third party validation of data. एक प्रश्न नेहमी विचारला जातो की ही थर्ड पार्टी कोणती. This is totally confidential. We don't know. Maybe a person of America, maybe a person of Japan, maybe a company of China. We don't know. Somewhere the people who are doing this data verification in the form of the third party validation is most confidential, and they validate each and every information that is being submitted, that is being put on your website, or that is being put in an online mode to anybody like NRIF, ASH, or any other agency like UGC. We find that previously also the students were involved, but now they are being given a specific role and more free hand to contribute by. Now what this NAC process has to do with, नेमकं NAC मध्ये पाहिलं काय जातं. This is a flow chart which basically indicates की कोणी करायचं, कसं करायचं आणि त्याच्यामधून काय पाहिलं जाणार. The inputs indicate who has to do what. The things have to be performed by the students. The curriculum has to be designed. The faculty has to perform. Non-teaching staff, the infrastructure and facilities have to be installed, and the teaching resources have to be in place. या सगळ्यांचा वापर काही प्रक्रियेमध्ये कुठल्या पद्धतीने केला जातो. टीचिंग लर्निंग मध्ये, स्टाफ डेव्हलपमेंट एम्पॉवरमेंट मध्ये, रिसर्च मध्ये, स्टुडंट सपोर्ट मध्ये आणि गव्हर्नन्सच्या फॉर्म. And what is being scaled, what is being measurable is in the form of the output. The ultimate goal काय? Any higher education institution has to result in three basic parts. One, this most skilled and employable graduates. Two, the research publications and the different outputs related to the research. And at last, the contribution to the community at large. आणि या सगळ्यांचा प्रोसेस करत असताना NAC will look also into the stakeholder satisfaction. कुठल्या प्रकारे हा स्कोर होतो. द टोटल व्हॅलिडिटी असेसमेंट प्रोसेस गोज विथ 1000 पॉइंट्स आणि या 1000 पॉइंट्सचे 3 मुख्य भाग आहेत. पहिला भाग स्टुडंट सॅटिस्फॅक्शन सर्वे, जो जनरली 3% ते 5% मध्ये असतं, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन व्हॉट टाइप ऑफ हायर एज्युकेशन इन्स्टिट्यूशन यू आर. You may be university, you may be an autonomous college, or you may be an affiliated college. Now in the new process, they have categorized it into college with UG only and college with UG and PG. So depending upon what category you fall into, these things, these ranges will be decided. The second part is a qualitative matrix. जे आधी पण होते डिस्क्रिप्टिव्ह टाईप फॅक्शन, जिथं तुम्हाला रिपोर्ट्स अपलोड करता येतात, जिथं तुम्हाला एव्हिडन्सेस पाहिजे तसे दाखवता येतात. This is only related the limit of 25% to 35%. आणि ज्या गोष्टीची सगळ्यात जास्त भीती वाटते, that is quantitative matrix. Now these quantitative matrix are nothing but the basically formula based matrices in which you have either to answer in the form of multiple choice question or you have to give in the form of the absolute numbers. It may be ratios, it may be percentage, or it may be absolute numbers. And this is the highest part of the total generated score, 67% to 74%. Let me make it very clear. Affiliated colleges, you are very lucky. The quantitative matrix in affiliated college generally lies in the range of 67% to 69%. And as you move toward the university system, they go on increasing. And accordingly, the qualitative mechanisms go on decreasing. Now, this is all about the process snapshot. की नेमकं नॅक करायचं म्हणजे कुठल्या पद्धतीने करायची, बाई प्रोसेस आहे काय. This is the most technical part we have put in a flow chart. Naturally, it starts with the higher education registration on the online portal. आपण जर nac.gov.in आपण या वेबवर जर गेला तर याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला ऑनलाईन रजिस्ट्रेशन किंवा ऑनलाईन असेसमेंट याचा आपल्याला एक छोटासा विंडो दिसतो. टू क्लिक इनटू इट आपण रजिस्ट्रेशन करतो. रजिस्ट्रेशन केल्यानंतर we are being allowed into it and IIQA submission साठी आपल्याला परमिशन दिली जाते. IIQA submission आपण जेव्हा करतो, we are going to see each step in detail again. In IIQA submission, we are submitting the basic information of the institution, ज्याच्या बेसिसवर आपल्याला काही क्वेरी विचारले जातात, ते आपल्याला क्लॅरिफाय करावे लागतात. एक्सेप्ट झाले, we go to the next step, and if not accepted, it is reverted again. If we are being allowed with IIQA, we go with the SSR submission, self-study report submission, जो आपल्याला 30 दिवसाच्या आत करावा लागतो once our IIQA is being accepted and the mail has been received. Our SSR submission process is the actual data validation process where the point of data validation process starts with. In 3 different parameters, we are going to discuss about them in detail. On the basis of this SSR, what we have submitted, the quantitative matrix assessment qualify you for the pre-qualification stage. And if the pre-qualification stage is being completed, we go for the PA team visit. PA team visit will look only in the qualitative matrix and the report will be generated by them also. And here what we receive is the combined score of SSS, the PA team, and the quantitative matrix which are being graded and the system is being generating with the scores. We get the ultimate score at last, which either we accept as it is or we can also go for the appeal process and we can start with our AQA submission process further. Now this is about the registration process in detail की सुरुवात कशी करायची. आपल्याला जेव्हा सुरुवात करायची आहे रजिस्ट्रेशनची तेव्हा आपल्याकडे 2 पर्याय आहेत. एक आपण नवीन आहोत, we are doing it for the first time, or we have already done it. NAC is having our registered name with them. At that particular time, we have to simply validate ourselves and approve our registration through login. In case you are new, you fill up the forms, fill up the information on the online site and the accreditation information is being filled up. NAC will verify and approve your registration. In case you are already NAC accredited with 1, 2 or 3 cycles, you directly activate it by logging into your credentials and the institution is being provided a direct access to this portal. Now, what is this IIQA submission process? Crux of it. इथं सगळं झालं. This is the step where we have to be most peculiar about what information we are putting in. IIQA जेव्हा आपण ऑनलाईन मध्ये सुरुवात करतो त्यावेळेला we should be ready with all our supporting documents at first. And if we find that NAC has communicated us that okay, your IIQA is ready to be filled up, be ready with all the documents at first. 1, 2. During the registration process, we have already paid the registration LOI fees, letter of intent, we used to say it previously, around 28,500 with GST. Now, at this stage, we are required to pay the assessment and accreditation fees, which is 50% of the total fees. Pay the 50% part of it and go with your IIQA submission process. Now, in this IIQA submission process, once we are uploading the information, immediately within 10 days of your submission, the NAC will give you a mail, and this mail will be asking you for the specific suggestions and the clarifications that are being required in the form of the query. अनेक डेटा जो त्यांना पटलेला नाहीये, त्यांना इनकम्प्लीट वाटलाय, त्यांना चुकीचं वाटलाय, जे काही असेल त्याच्या बाबतीत क्लॅरिफिकेशन क्वेरीज इमिजिएटली 10 दिवसाच्या NAC आपल्याला शूट अप करतं. And we are being required to give the clarification to these queries immediately. आपण जे रिस्पॉन्सेस देतो त्याला पुन्हा NAC व्हॅलिडेट करतं, व्हेरीफाय करतं, and they have 2 things. Either they will accept it completely, okay, whatever is the thing, they will accept it, and they will give you how much is accepted and what is being accepted. In case they find that still the information is not acceptable, they will simply give you a rejection. सरळ सांगतील की आम्हाला IIQA acceptable नाही, so you have to start with the process again. Make it sure. NAC is supporting the colleges in doing this process, and that is the reason they allow for 2 more attempts with the same fees. त्याच 28,500 फीस मध्ये अजून 2 अटेम्प्ट आपल्याला हायर एज्युकेशन इन्स्टिट्यूशनला प्रोव्हाइड केले जातात टू resubmit the IIQA being given to them. And in case all the 3 attempts fail, naturally the fees will be forfeited and the fresh application process have to be done. Coming to the next part, and this is the SSR. Now, what to do with SSR? This is self-study report in which the institution, once it receives that IIQA has been accepted by NAC, within a period of 45 days, 45 दिवस आपल्या हातात असतात फक्त. या 45 दिवसामध्ये आपल्याला SSR आपला अपलोड करायचा आहे इन व्हॉट एव्हर टेम्पलेट्स दॅट आर बीइंग शूटेड ऑनलाईन. हे डेटा टेम्पलेट्स काय आहेत हे ऑलरेडी मॅन्युअल मध्ये प्रोव्हाइडेड असतात आणि त्या पद्धतीने डॉक्युमेंट अपलोडिंग, डेटा फाइलिंग या सगळ्या गोष्टी याच्यामध्ये आपण अपलोड करत जातो. Now into this SSR process, there is one main thing that has to be taken care of. Let me make it very clear. This is something called as extended profile. SSR मध्ये एक्सटेंडेड प्रोफाईल नावाचा जो भाग असतो तो ज्यांना नीट कळालं त्यांना हा प्रोसेस करायला काही त्रास होत नाही and the queries are minimum. In the extended profile, whatever information is being asked is like number of students enrolled, number of faculties on the roll, number of programs being run, number of courses, non-teaching staff, या सगळ्या गोष्टींची डिटेल्स विचारले जातात आणि हे काही नाही फक्त आपले जे फॉर्म्युले दिलेले असतात. आपण जर मॅन्युअल पाहिलं तर त्याच्यामध्ये जे काही फॉर्म्युले दिलेले आहेत त्या फॉर्म्युलेचे डिनॉमिनेटर हे सगळे इंडिकेट करतात. लाईक नंबर ऑफ स्टुडंट्स, this is denominator which is being used in so many metrics for calculation of your grades. So in this extended profile we have to be very specific. Even a small mistake will be very heavy price for us. When IAQA is being accepted, the SSR process is being started to be submitted within 45 days. You will find that there is an auto-generated mail which is being received from the NAC that okay, we are ready to accept your SSR and you have to upload it. Two things. This SSR has to be uploaded even in a PDF form on the institutional website one, and it has to be filled up online with the NAC portal. Please be ready with all the things being done. Now, once you are submitting this SSR, there is one more thing which we are required to decide, and that is called as the non-applicable matrix. आता या नवीन सिस्टीम मध्ये एक ऑप्ट आउट मॅट्रिक्स नावाचा प्रकार नॅकने अलाउ केलाय. कॉलेजेस बी हॅपी अबाउट इट. काही गोष्टी अशा असतात जे आपण ज्या रिजन मध्ये आपलं कॉलेज आहे, ज्या परिस्थितीमध्ये आपलं कॉलेज काम करत असतं त्या प्रश्नांची उत्तर देणं आपल्याला पॉसिबलच नसतं कारण ते आपल्याला लागू होत नाही. अशा वेळेला नॅकनी 3% or less than it of the total weightage त्यांनी अलाउ केलेलं आहे. The only thing is they have given a list कुठे ऑप्ट आउट करता येतं. They cannot be a key indicator which is more than 10 points weightage. आणि कॅटेगरी क्रायटेरिया 1, 2 आणि 7 या 3 क्रायटेरियाज मध्ये मात्र कुठलाही ऑप्ट आउट करता येत नाही. मात्र बाकीच्या उरलेल्या 3, 4, 5 आणि 6 याच्यामध्ये जेव्हा आपण ऑप्ट आउट करतोय तेव्हा वी हॅव टू स्पेसिफिकली मेन्शन इट ड्युरिंग द SSR that these are the non-applicable matrix we are choosing as opt-out आणि आपला टोटल 1000 पॉइंटचा असेसमेंट तेवढ्या अनुषंगाने कमी येईल प्रो डेटा वाईज. Once we are submitting this SSR, immediately NAC starts with three process one at a time. एकाच वेळेला 3 गोष्टी स्टार्ट होतात. नंबर 1 ट्रिपल एस प्रोसेस, त्याला आपण स्टुडंट सॅटिस्फॅक्शन सर्वे म्हणतो. दुसरं DVV प्रोसेस, डेटा व्हेरिफिकेशन अँड व्हॅलिडेशन प्रोसेस. अँड 3 द बिब्लिओमॅटिक डेटाबेस विच इज बिंग डन थ्रू इन्फिबनेट. आणि हे तिन्ही गोष्टी एकत्र जेव्हा केल्या जातात तेव्हा तिन्ही गोष्टीचं इनपुट्स in the form of the grades is being transferred to NAC for the ultimate results. This is about DVV process. की DVV करतं काय, कुठल्या पद्धतीने करतं. This data verification and validation process which is being done by the third parties is the moment we submit our SSR, they will start identifying the deviations into it. See, there are basically 3 principles which we have to follow when we are submitting the data. 1, क्लॅरिटी, प्रिन्सिपल ऑफ क्लॅरिटी. आपण जे काही इन्फॉर्मेशन देत आहोत ती अत्यंत क्लिअर टर्म्स मध्ये, क्लिअर दिसणाऱ्या ह्याच्यामध्ये आणि क्लिअर वर्डिंग्स मध्ये एक्सप्रेस व्हायला पाहिजे. नंबर 2 प्रिन्सिपल ऑफ कम्प्लीटनेस. जे काही आपण देतोय ती इन्फॉर्मेशन पूर्ण असायला पाहिजे. अर्धवट आपण काहीतरी बोललोय आणि पुढचं आपण लाईक से फॉर एक्झाम्पल नंबर ऑफ बेनिफिशियरीज विचारले गेले आणि आपण काय केलं, कसं केलं, कोणत्या तारखेला केलं, कोणत्या रिसोर्स पर्सनला बोलवलं हे सगळं आपण दिलंय. मात्र आपण त्यांनी जे विचारलं आहे दॅट ओके गिव्ह द नंबर ऑफ बेनिफिशियरीज आउट ऑफ दिस ऍक्टिव्हिटी यू हॅव डन. इफ वी आर नॉट मेन्शनिंग इट इज ऑफ नो यूज. ऍट सम टाइम दे विल बी आस्किंग फॉर द पीपल हु आर युअर स्टेक होल्डर्स लाईक एम्प्लॉयर्सचे ते तुम्हाला डिटेल्स विचारतील की ओके यू टू अपलोड द नेम ऑफ द कंपनी, द नेम ऑफ द HR ऑफिसर, हिज मेल ID, हिज कॉन्टॅक्ट नंबर आणि आपण त्या गोष्टी जर देत नसू अशा वेळेला दिस विल बी डेव्हिएटिंग द प्रिन्सिपल ऑफ कम्प्लीटनेस. अँड द थर्ड प्रिन्सिपल इज द प्रिन्सिपल ऑफ करेक्टनेस. आपण जे काही देतोय ते अंदाजे पंजे देता कामा नये. जसं आपल्या सगळ्यांना माहित आहे जी काही इन्फॉर्मेशन आपण पुटअप करतोय डीव्हीव्ही ते अनेक सोर्सेसद्वारे ते चेक करत असते. मग ते एनआरएफ असेल, ऍश असेल, युजीसी असेल, आपली वेबसाईट असेल, आपण कुठेही इन्फॉर्मेशन दिलेली असेल, जॉईंट डायरेक्टर ऑफिसही ते असू शकतं. त्याच्यामुळे सी दॅट द इन्फॉर्मेशन दॅट इज बिंग सबमिटेड इज करेक्ट. सो द डेविएशन्स आर बिंग asked for further clarification by DVV in case they are crossing any of these three principles. This deviation report is being submitted to the higher education institution and the institution will submit the clarification responses to the DVV. आता हे डीव्हीव्ही पुन्हा आपली प्रोसेस स्टार्ट करतं, पुन्हा व्हेरिफिकेशन स्टार्ट करतं आणि आयदर दे विल रिजेक्ट इट 1, 2 और दे विल एक्सेप्ट इट पार्शियली. त्यांना वाटलं की तुम्ही सांगितलं की नाही 10 विद्यार्थीच आमचे करेक्टेड आउट ऑफ स्टेटचे, त्यांना असे एव्हिडन्सेस बघून वाटलं की 10 नाही ते फक्त 7 आहेत. अशा वेळेला डीव्हीव्ही आपला रिस्पॉन्स कळवेल की आम्ही 7 मुलं एडिशनली तुमच्या आउट ऑफ स्टेटचे आम्ही एक्सेप्ट करत आहोत. और दे मे एक्सेप्ट इट फुल्ली कि okay, you said there are additionally these students are out of state, 10, they accepted 10. So either rejection or partial acceptance or full acceptance. Whatever it may be, the DVB will recommend, okay, these are our recommendations. As the final query is being settled, now update your data. And once the data is being updated, DVB will again do a second level verification. No kantara, continuously verification or verification. And the final report of the DVB will be submitted to the NAC ultimately. Now it goes with the student satisfaction survey. एक नवीन गोष्ट जी आपल्याला वाटतं कसं होईल, याला एक सिस्टमॅटिक प्रोसेस आहे. स्टूडेंट सॅटिस्फॅक्शन सर्वे नंबर 1 बेसिकली इज रिलेटेड टू दी टीचिंग लर्निंग इव्हॅल्युएशन प्रोसेस. तो मेजॉरिटी पार्ट याचा आहे, तो टीचिंग लर्निंग अँड इव्हॅल्युएशनवर फोकस करतो. अँड small pieces of the facilities and other things are also being included into it, but to a minor part. Now what and how this is being done? The thing is, when we are submitting our data to NAC office, we are also required to submit minimum 50% data of the total enrolled student in the current year. आपला जो करंट इयर आहे, जो चालू वर्ष आहे, त्याच्यामधलं जे आपला स्टुडंटचा डेटाबेस आहे, तो डेटाबेस मिनिमम 50% to maximum 100%. As a college, you are required to put it in the Excel sheet of the NAC portal. याच्यामध्ये काय असेल? याच्यामध्ये विद्यार्थ्याचं नाव, विद्यार्थ्याचा मेल आयडी, विद्यार्थ्याचा मोबाईल नंबर, अजून 2 कॉलम असतील, विद्यार्थ्याचा स्टुडंट आयडी आणि एनरोलमेंट आयडी. काही ठिकाणी एनरोलमेंट आयडी आणि स्टुडंट आयडी एकाच असू शकतं. रिपिटेशन इज बिंग अलाउड इन दिस केस. आता याच्या हे डेटा वन सबमिट, वी आर सबमिटिंग दिस डेटा, याचा नॅक काय करतो? नॅक एक क्वेश्चनरच्या माध्यमाद्वारे विद्यार्थ्यांना एक ऍक्टिव्हेशन लिंक पाठवतं त्यांच्या मेल्सवर. दिस क्वेश्चनर बेसिकली कन्सिस्ट ऑफ 21 क्वेश्चन. 21 प्रश्नांची ही प्रश्नावली आहे, ज्याच्यामधले 20 प्रश्न हे MCQ पॅटर्न मध्ये असतात. दे आर येस नो और इन द स्केल्स or in the form of a multiple choice question. And one question, that is the last question, is the descriptive question. These 21 questions, questionnaire is being given in the form of an activation link to the students, and this activation link of the students is being mailed to them. आता विद्यार्थ्यांना याच्यामध्ये त्या लिंकवर क्लिक करून आपले रिस्पॉन्सेस सबमिट करायचे असतात. When they are submitting their response, there is one thing more again. कमीत कमी 10% किंवा 100, whichever is less, एवढ्या मुलांनी त्याला रिस्पॉन्स देणं हे बंधनकारक आहे. इन केस असं वाटलं की विद्यार्थी रिस्पॉन्स देत नाहीये, अशा वेळेला सॅम्पल स्टुडंट्सला पाठवलेलं असतं नॅकनी. ते अजून बाकीच्या उरलेल्या जे विद्यार्थी आहेत ज्यांचा डेटाबेस आपल्याकडे नॅकला आपण प्रोव्हाइड केलेला आहे, त्यांना सुद्धा ही लिंक शूटअप केली जाते. आणि त्याच्यामुळे असा एक सल्ला याच्यामध्ये दिला जातो की आपण 50% जरी मिनिमम असेल डेटाबेस देणं, तरी 100% मुलांचं द्या. कारण मुलं जर रिस्पॉन्स देत नसतील तर नॅक विल फाइंड इट इझियर टू शूट द मेल टू द रेस्ट ऑफ द स्टुडंट्स इमिजिएटली. ही प्रोसेस कुठल्याही परिस्थितीत नॅक 1 महिन्याच्या आत संपवते. 101% within 1 month, this SSS process will be finished and the lines will be closed. Whatever responses have been received in the form of this student satisfaction survey, the metric values will be calculated directly by the system and they will be submitted to the NAC for the accumulation in the final grades of the institution. Coming to this last part, which starts the moment we are submitting your SSR. That is the Infobinet bibliometric data feed. Now, whatever publications are being made by the faculty of your institution, they are being validated and verified by the DBB process through Infobinet directly. I think you all know Infobinet is an agency of the UGC which is authorized to do this. And this Infobinet is having the access to all the bibliometric search engines like Web of Science, Indian Citation Index, Scopus. They will be checking it in their own procedures either by the name or by the name of the institution. And because this process is being done